Om Swastiastu. Hello everyone, my name is Igustia Agung Sukma Pratiwi. My student ID number is 211202183. And now I will provide the material about grammar translation method or GTM. Check it out. The first one, I will tell you about my content. First is definition of GTM. Second is importance in using GTM. Third is weaknesses of GTM. And fourth is techniques of GTM. Okay, let's be moving to the first content, it's definition. According to Larson Freeman 20 and 10, GTM is a method of teaching foreign language which has the aim of helping students to be able to read and appreciate foreign language literacy works. You must be familiar with the learning method of translating like GTM, right? This method more emphasized to teaching of language rules into reading and writing than listening and speaking skills. So this method will make students more love in reading or writing to develop their vocabulary to translate from mother tongue into foreign language. It is used for beginners or is usually used in elementary schools. So a teacher is not required to use English to teach. And this method, grammar is taught deductively. It means that language rule is taught by teachers which provides detailed explanations of formulas or language patterns before examples of their use. Okay, next. Why in using GTM is important? Yes, we know that GTM basically is translation method and it's very important to develop students' vocabulary skills, right? So here are some reasonable reasons of importance in using GTM that I will to explain. First is this method is easier way to explain the meaning of words and phrases from a language to another language. It means that GTM is easier way to students translating of words or phrases into the language because the teachers and students just need some sentences and students required to translate it and teachers just facilitate them. Second is this method is centered on written language. It means that GTM more in writing and reading than speaking and listening. Because of that, this method can reduce the level of fatigue of teacher, especially to a teacher that not fluent in English. Third is helping students to master grammar well. It means that GTM more focuses to applying about grammar and sentences structure well. Fourth is students learn to read and write in target language accurately. It means that what I said previously, GTM is centered on written language. Of course, writing will be accompanied by reading. So when students are proficient in writing, they will automatically be proficient in reading too. And the last one is build students' understanding because they are required to learn a lot from reading. In this case, that means students will understanding of what they are read or write, and because of that, they will comprehend about vocabulary and also grammar well. Okay, next, why GTM is bad? Did you know about these sentences before? Nothing in this world is perfect, and therefore the advantages and disadvantages must coexist, right? So here, I will to explain some reasonable reasons why GTM could be bad. First is this method is considered less natural because in GTM teaching, the target language begins with reading. Actually, the order that should be placed in language teaching is listening, speaking, reading, then writing. Now reading and writing first. Second is translate is quite difficult task because there is no definite and most correct translation from one language to another. We know that English is one of inconsistent language, right? And the most important thing is how people can understand what you are talking about and not about your deeper grammar well. And the third is students learn more about a language than learn how to use it. This is related to what I said previously. Actually, the most important thing is how we can apply the language in everyday life, right? Okay, next. How to apply GTM? Okay, so here's some techniques about GTM that you must know. The first is reading comprehension questions. So after students giving a text to read, they will be given questions to answer. Furthermore, it does have three kinds of questions that given to students. The first questions is that related to the content that they read. Second question is that not related directly to text, but it contains a conclusion to take information from the text. And the last question is to make students related the text with their experiences. Second is antonym or synonym. It is a teaching technique to instruction students to find out the differences or similarity of meaning into the text. So in this case, the students can be given a list of words that they can be found antonym or synonym in text. With this way, they have enriched a vocabulary. Third is cognates. It is a teaching technique to require students to find out of spelling or sounds pattern from target language that similar with spelling or sounds in mother tongue. For example, in English language, words like transportation, television, information, radio, computer, etc. are having quite similar spelling with words in Indonesian language, right? And fourth is deductive application of rule. This technique using for introduce students with grammar rule in target language. This activity is doing by a teacher with explain grammar rule and follow with examples. When students have been understanding of grammar rule, they are required to apply it to their examples. Alright, that's all about my explanation. I hope you got it. Thank you and goodbye. Om Santi 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 Om.